hole like this right here, and you feed it on down through your float like this. Pull it down, you lock it, set it aside. Put whatever it is you want to fish on there. Say you want to fish this, you want to jig a worm or something. I just got a worm because I don't want to use live bait flopping all over the table. But anyway, let me get this in here, right here, like this. There we go. Put the weight down. Pull this up here where you want it. Lock, and you got it. Once it's locked, there it is. You're ready to go. Slight jerk, it unlocks. Pull it up. Whoops. That was great. Pull it up and it locks. And there you go. Very simple, very easy, and you're ready to go. I appreciate your time. I just wanted to show you what was involved just in locking the float, getting it set up to go fishing. Thank you very much.
Cool.
Okay, what we have here is the mag float. What I'm doing is giving a swimming pool demonstration. It just got through raining yesterday. It's a little cloudy, but this is a demonstration to show how this float works in the water so that you can see the bait and everything. You throw it in the location that you want, which this is short, I know, but throw it in the location that you want. Take out the slack out of your line, hold your pole all the way to the top of the water, right level with the water, slight jerk, and it unlocks the float and down your bait goes. And you can sit here and you can jig this thing and it won't lock. You can jig it all you want. But when you want to lock, you just pull it, jerk. What that does, it locks it into place. You can leave it there and then unlock it, slight jerk. Down it goes. You can fish this float any depth at any time without ever taking it out of the water. Throw out where you want to go. Hold your pole line level with the top of the water. You're into your tip of your rod. Take the slack out, slight jerk. Down it goes. Pull it up where you want it, slight jerk, locks it right back. Doesn't matter if you're 10 foot off the bank or 200 feet off the bank. You don't have to see the line to know when it's unlocked because the string will be coming out of your reel. This thing it's got a solid works. It's going to be making clear loose plastic where you can see through it, which will make it a lot easier. This float, it just works every time if you do what needs to be done. Throw out where you want it, take the slack out of your line between you and the float, slight jerk, down it goes. Keep your pole, tip of your pole lined up with the water, right at the top of the water. You can reel it if you like with your reel. Get it where you want it, slight jerk, lock. Slight jerk, unlock. Not a problem. You can also, this float, you can drag, you can pull it. You can pull it, you can throw it where you want it, and you can pull it in the water wherever you want to go, say a stump or by some brush or wherever you want to pull it to. You can pull it to where you want it, it won't come unlocked. Till you get where you, there's an area that you want. The best thing to do is throw past where you want to fish and then reel it back to where you want it. Slight jerk, and it'll drop it right down by a tree. Brush, you pinpoint it right where you want it every time. You can fish in ice fishing and up there at the Great Lakes, canal fishing in California, docks, barges, ocean. This would be good around the ocean also, especially in the lagoons and stuff like that where this is a small float, but you can still fish this, you know, in the ocean. I don't know about going out in deep water with it because you can't put a lot of bait on it unless you're, I don't know. I've never really did that much deep sea fishing. But it'd be good around the shores and lagoons and stuff like that. because the buoyancy differences is not that much to make a difference. So it's good for fresh and salt water. Right where you want it, slight jerk, lock. Slight jerk, take the slack out, unlock. All you gotta do, slight jerk and it locks. Every time. It's taken a lot of research and development to get this float where it's at. A lot. But it had to be done. And it's there now. It's complete. And I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Yeah.
Another thing this is good for, like where I'm at here, Lake Ray Roberts, there's about 60 brush piles that's cable to the bottom of the lake. And they're usually around 25, 30, 40 feet. This float right here, you could go up to these brush piles and tie off with your boat. Instead of having to fish that one designated area where you're tied off at, you could fish that whole area in which is cabled down, that brush pile that's cabled down. It's usually about 20 feet wide, 25 feet wide, and 60 to 80 feet long. You can park in the middle, and you can fish all corners, the middle, you can fish wherever you want to. Your depth finder tells you how deep to put your bait. So what you do is you just throw out the location that you want. So you're wanting to go over on the other side of that brush pile. Just throw over there, unlock, push your button, count your footage as it pulls off, put a piece of tape on your reel, pull off till you get 25 feet, lock your reel, and jerk. And you're fishing 25 feet, 20 feet off the 20 feet on the other side of the brush pile, instead of having to be subject to just fishing one spot. I went fishing with a couple of friends that way, and what happened was we ended up tying off on a brush pile, and we wasn't catching anything, so we had to pull anchor up, spin back around, float back into the brush pile, anchor back down, and fish a different spot. Took about 30-40 minutes to do that. Whereas this float right here, you would never have to move. You could leave your boat right where it's at. You can fish the whole brush pile without even moving your boat. And that way you can target locate the crappie wherever they're at on that brush pile, and you'd be in the middle of them every time. And that would be an ideal, because man, there's like hundreds, maybe thousands of boats that come out in the springtime that gets on these brush piles, and in the wintertime also, and catch nothing but crappie all day long. It'd be excellent for that. There's probably a lot of things this float would be good for that I'm not even thinking of right now that you could probably think of. Lake Fork has got a lot of brush in it, and that's where the 3 record bass are right now in the state of Texas, is in Lake Fork, and it's real brushy. This would be excellent. You can fish up to, you can put 65, 70, 80 pound spider wire on here, and you throw this into the brush wherever you need it to go. You can pull the big ones out. Probably pull out a record, because this right here gets you down there where they're at, where you may not even be able to get your boat, but you just have to drag and fight them out. And that's about it. I appreciate your time. Thanks.
Yeah.
Another good thing this float would be good for is actually fishing for stripers. Whereas you want to set your bait about a foot off the bottom of the lake, and sometimes you may sit there for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours waiting to catch a striper, and you're sitting there holding your pole. Whereas you could go out in the boat and use this float right here. You could throw it out some 8 foot from the bank from the boat, drop it down a foot. You can set your pole down in front of you, eat you a sandwich, drink you a Coke or whatever you want, and just watch your float. When your float goes, you got what you need. You know you've got a hit. And that way you're not having to sit there all night holding your pole. And you can't leave your pole, because if you leave your pole, set your pole down on the boat, and you're eating your sandwich, drinking your Coke, them stripers will take your pole away from you, and it'll be gone. At least this way, this will give you probably a 4 or 5 second window to put your stuff down that you're probably eating or whatever that you're doing, and grab your pole and catch your fish. And I think, that's just a convenient factor. Another factor we need to take in consideration is when this thing is made, It's not gonna be a solid plastic like this. It's gonna be a plastic that you're able to see through. It's gonna be a translucent